coffee with Kev. How are we all? Just finishing making notes, planning out my week. Look, I'm an organised man. How are we all? Is everybody good? Just giving you all a moment to arrive in the stream. Let's check that we've got up and running on YouTube as well. We have to make sure we're also live over there. Otherwise it would be a disaster. Where would these streams be if I didn't spend so much of them telling the YouTube people to come over to YouNow? There you go. We have gone live on YouTube as well. So again, we'll just give it a moment or two for people to filter in as I go through the normal housekeeping stuff. If you are new to the streams, you want to pay attention to the housekeeping. There's a few little quirks to how this works that you're going to want to know about, especially if you're watching on YouTube, where you could find yourself very confused as to what's going on. But this is a coffee with Kev. I have my coffee at the ready. I also have a sore throat just in the early stages of starting. I'm hoping I'm not becoming ill because the whole world seems to be ill at the moment, and you don't need to hear about yet another person complaining about it. But housekeeping, as promised. If you are watching on YouTube, I can't see the chat over there. I can't see the chat on YouTube at all. By all means, watch on YouTube, but this stream is actually being streamed onto YouNow. So if you want to watch it as it's happening, rather than on the 2-second delay. I know a 2-second delay is a big deal, the 2-second delay that comes to YouTube, but probably more importantly, if you want to be able to interact, you need to come over to YouNow, because I can't see any of the chat that's on YouTube. I'm only looking at the chat on YouNow. The link to YouNow is being regularly posted in the YouTube chat by KevBot. There's also a link in the description on YouTube. There's a link on my Twitter, or you can just go to younow.com/Lelujo, go on to the YouNow app, search for Lelujo, search for Kevin Chapman. Any of these things will get you along to the YouNow stream. And then once you're on YouNow, then you can ask your questions and I'll be able to see them, and we'll be able to get going with this whole Q&A business. We are doing a Q&A. Old format with new format included as well. If you missed last night's, I'm going a bit more regular here on YouNow. I'd previously been doing 3 a week. We're trying to push that up to 4 or 5, but they're going to be 4 or 5 shorter ones. We are going to be strictly limiting these streams to half an hour from now on. It's still on the basis of you've got the time it takes me to drink this cup of coffee to ask me as many questions as you'd like on as many topics as you would like, and I'll answer as many as I possibly can. However, I am going to drink the coffee in half an hour, because as soon as I'm done here, I'm going live on Twitch to stream some Football Manager. So we're here for 30 minutes, no more, no less. While I drink that cup of coffee, you can ask questions on any topic, and I'll answer as many of them as I can. So one final reminder for the YouTube lot, if anybody did arrive a little bit late, I can't see the YouTube chat. So if you want to ask a question, if you want to interact with the Q&A, you need to come over to YouNow. The link to that is in the chat. It's in the description, or you can just come over to YouNow and search for me, and you'll find me that way too. Let me have a sip of this, because I feel like a hot drink on my sore throat would be a good thing to have. Is it always going to be half an hour, Kev? Probably, unless I have something I particularly want to talk about. Because what we were doing, we started off with these streams. Let's explain that thought process a little bit, as someone's asked about it. When I first started doing YouNow a couple of months ago, I was just doing a half an hour, like 2-3 times a week. And that was enough, because they weren't very busy. Everyone was getting their questions asked. We all had a lovely time. But as time has gone on, the streams have got longer and longer and longer. And if you go back to the ones last week, the week before, they were coming in at like 45 minutes to an hour long, which is a lot of content to watch on replay. It's a lot of content to sit and watch in one go at any point. So I thought, rather than doing an hour 3 nights a week, it would be better to do half an hour 5 nights a week. I don't know if I'll always get to the full 5, but certainly I should always be able to do at least 4. I use this time when Anna's putting Andy to bed, so there's literally nothing else for me to be doing at the moment. I can come on to YouNow at 8 o'clock every night if there's nothing else going on. So as long as I'm not away, as long as I'm not off doing something else, I can come on in this slot. We'll do half an hour, and then by the time I'm done, Anna will be back downstairs and I can go in and have my evening. Or if I'm streaming, I've got time to stream on Twitch at 9 o'clock. So it works quite well. Who is Shortstay? Shortstay is Anna's brother. How am I? I am good, Jack, thank you. Were you making YouTube videos before you met Andy? No, but I was making YouTube videos for a long time before Andy was ever in them. So I didn't start making YouTube videos about Andy. I was making Football Manager videos. Then I was just vlogging in general. And then gradually, as the vlog became part of my daily routine. Andy started to creep into it more and more because obviously he's also part of my daily routine, and the two things kind of smushed together. What's my favourite Funko Pop? There's a Wonder Woman one that's up there somewhere, which is very cool. Is he called Short Stay because of the Short Stay car park? I can't confirm or deny why he's called Short Stay. How's the Skoog doing? He's not got any interest in it. I mean, it's a nice idea, and I'm sure it's a really useful tool for music therapy and things like that. But for those of us who have no musical ability, it's quite hard to get it to do anything cool. And Andy certainly hasn't got any interest in it at all, because you have to set it up and sync it up with an iPad or sync it up with a computer. It's not something he can just pick up and start to use. So I think for what he would want from it, it doesn't do what he wants it to do. He'd be much happier if it just made noises when you push the sides of it, and it was just the same 6 noises, and the noise came out of the box itself rather than that of separate speakers. So it was a nice idea. Didn't really work out ideally. What's my favourite vlog that I've made and the worst one I've made? My favourite one is probably the steam train one that we did quite recently. I think that worked out really well. Or the bell ringing one. I think I always try and make every vlog better than the one before, and I think certainly since we started season 5, was it? Although I've stopped using seasons now, and I've got them in monthly playlists on the channel. But since we had the bit of the reboot where we started putting the intro in, and everyone who's been watching for a while saw just a big step up in quality around about the start of the summer holidays. So I think everything we've made since then has been better than pretty much everything that came before. But I think the best one was probably the steam train or the bell ringing. I always enjoy my Comic-Con ones and my event ones as well. I think they're always very good. The worst one I've ever made, you could pick any where you can see a green screen in the thumbnail. They were all pretty poor. The one that I regret making the most is the one where I called out the name of the school because I was angry, and I shouldn't have done that. That's the worst video I've ever made. Tips for EGX. My tips for EGX are very similar to my tips for Comic-Con and my tips for any event. Take lots of water, take lots of hand sanitizer, get there early, go to the stuff that you want to play either first thing on the first day, just when the gates open, get straight in there and head for the game you want to play most. And if you don't get there within the first hour of the event being open, don't join any super long queues after that if you're going to be there on the Sunday, because Sunday afternoon you can literally walk around the show floor and just walk up to everything. Like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on Sunday, almost everybody's gone home. We've done this like the last 2 or 3 years. Almost everybody's gone home at that point, and you can literally just walk up to stuff without a queue on Sunday afternoon. It's brilliant. So what we tend to do is smash out our very favourite thing first thing on the first day we're there, which is usually Saturday, but we are going on the Friday this year as well. And then we don't really play anything at all for most of the rest of the weekend. We just soak up the atmosphere, meet up with people, have a laugh, have a bit of fun, and then once it gets to Sunday afternoon, we turn gaming mode on again and go and play everything else. It's awesome. How did me and Anna meet? Internet dating. I picked her out of a catalogue. If you could go on holiday, where would it be? Disneyland, probably. I'm not really a holiday kind of person. I've not had a proper holiday for like 10 years. I'd much rather go and do some stuff. So actually, Disneyland would be the best one for my family. The thing that I'd enjoy most would be like San Diego Comic-Con or E3 or New York Comic-Con or Gamescom or the Tokyo Games Show. Just a big nerdy event that I could go to for 3 days, 4 days. It would be awesome. Best perk of being a teacher and the best worst thing about my job now. The best thing about being a teacher is the 13 weeks holiday that you get. It's awesome. You get paid really rather well to only work 3/4 of the year. It's brilliant. The best thing about what I do now is that when I wake up in the morning, I do something I'm absolutely passionate about, and I choose my day. So if I wake up and I want to make my Football Manager video first, I'll do that. If I want to make the vlog first, I'll do that. If I want to do some admin or do a bit of writing for a few hours, I'll do that. If I don't feel like doing any of those things, I can go out for a few hours and just start my work day later in the day. So I always work when I'm most energized and most motivated. I love what I do every day. It's brilliant. The worst thing about what I do now is the unpredictability of the income, And I know I don't like. I said I don't like to talk about money too much. It always seems to be something we talk about on here, which I guess means people are interested in it. But the fact that my income is like that, it's nice when it's there. It's horrible when it's there, and you never know for sure. Like I could work harder for the next 2 weeks than I ever have in my life. And for whatever reason, the algorithm doesn't quite click with what I'm doing, and I might not get paid very much next month. Or I could take 2 weeks off, but have a video that just clicks just right with the algorithm and make more money in 2 weeks than I've ever made before. There's not a direct correlation between how hard you work and how much money you earn. At least an immediate correlation. Obviously, there is a long-term correlation. If you work hard for every day for a long period of time, gradually that income starts to increase. But it's not a direct correlation. You can't work 10 hours to earn 10 hours of pay. And I miss that a little bit. Can Andy swim? Not really. He enjoys the water, but he can't really swim. Having seen the vlog today, Lucy has sympathy for having such an evil dad not buying her a coffee. Well, in my defence, me and Anna had already ordered, and we were standing there collecting our coffee. We were walking out the door as Lucy walked in, and I didn't want to rejoin the queue, and I didn't have any cash on me. If I'd have had a fiver on me, I'd have given her a fiver. If she'd have arrived at the same time as us, I'd have bought her a coffee. But I wasn't rejoining the Starbucks queue just because she happened to be in town. Yeah. Any advice on how to stop a puppy weeing and pooing inside? Just let them outside a lot and really praise them when they go outside. I think eventually most puppies, and this is the guy who's only ever had one dog, but the way I understand it, because we asked these questions when we got Dave, and I think they generally learn that it's not nice to be in their own wee and poo, and they'd like to do it far away from where they hang out. So if you give them enough opportunities to go outside, if you take them for a couple of walks a day and let them out in the garden like every hour, maybe even more often than that when they're training, they'll eventually get into the habit that actually it's much nicer to do this in the garden and come into a clean, dry house than it is to wee all over my bed or all over the floor. Where did we get to? Best part of the vlog today was when you called Anna to sit next. I'm not sure what that says. Is it just YouTube Andy watches on his iPad, or does he play games too? He plays a few games on his iPad. Goat Simulator is one that he plays quite a lot. He doesn't really play much else on the iPad. I just left Pizza Express, so it was weird seeing you there in today's vlog. Awesome. I haven't been to Pizza Express for years. It was really, really nice. When is my next vlog out? The vlog is out 5 PM every day, without fail. For a year now, every day, 5 o'clock. How are YouTubers paid? By likes or subs or views? None of the above. It's literally based on how many adverts people watch on our channels. So if the little adverts that come up at the start of videos or midway through videos, if you watch them, we get paid a tiny amount. If you skip them, we don't get paid. So it really is just about how many adverts are watched. We get paid by the advertisers for the amount of advertising that's on our channel. So if we get a lot of adverts, we get a decent amount of money. If we don't get any adverts at all, we don't. If you struggle with money, could you not look into things like income tax, housing benefit, maybe child support? We could. The reason I don't is because A, we're not struggling that much. I know I go on about how poor we are, but we're not like, there's no danger of us losing our house or not being able to pay our bills. We're just not, we don't have any spare money like we used to. We were used to being quite comfortable, well-paid, typical middle-class family. And we've gone from that to my income basically halved. But I think I earn too much to get any of those benefits. And it's so hard to, I mean, and I'd have to tell them how much I earn. And that varies so much from month to month. I'd be forever updating the claims. And it just sounds like a whole extra layer of complication that we don't need for what might be £5 that we don't need it. I don't feel like I should claim benefits when we don't need them. If we were really, really struggling, we'd look into it, but we get by without needing benefits. So in the spirit of using benefits for what they're intended to do, I don't feel like we should be claiming for them when we can survive without claiming for them, because otherwise it's kind of abusing the system a bit, isn't it? Always watch the ads. Got to feed the kids. Yeah, exactly. I watch on YouTube Premium. If you watch on YouTube Premium, it works slightly differently. It's based on watch time. So it's still not views or subs or likes or anything like that. It's watch time. So the greater the percentage of your watch time I get as the creator, the greater the percentage of your YouTube Premium sub I get. So if you're, I get the $17.99 family package on YouTube Premium. I don't know how much YouTube keep for themselves. Probably, if they're anything like Twitch, probably about half of it. So let's say there's £9 a month knocking around from my YouTube Premium sub. If I then watched nothing but Philip DeFranco videos all month, Philip DeFranco gets that $9. But if I watch half him and half Wrestle Talk, they get $4.50 each, and so it breaks down like that. It's all to do with the percentage of watch time. Have I seen The Good Doctor? I have seen bits of it. I don't know that I've seen it all. What do bars do on YouNow? That's how you make donations. So it's like, what's it called on Twitch? Is it tips on Twitch? And super chat on YouTube. It's all the same kind of thing. It's just a way to donate directly to the creator. Do I think uni is becoming too popular? No. I think if people want to go to uni, it's good that they have the opportunity to. Did Andy have a good day today? Not really. Everyone's been quite poorly today. How much did my PC cost? My PC cost about £1,700. It was quite an expensive one, but it was paid for by my Twitch viewers. They basically donated loads of money for me to be able to buy it, which I'm very, very grateful for. Do we have DLA for Andy? We do. Would you ever want to collaborate with Fathering Autism? I would, and I have spoken to Asa a couple of times, and we are trying to sort something out. It's just a little bit difficult with time zones and geographical distance and sorting out something that would actually... We want to do something together, but we don't want it to be rubbish. So we want to be able to do a good video, obviously without being in the same continent as each other, though. Where did we get to? What level? Which level does he get? What, of DLA? I'm not sure. Anna deals with all that. It's not a huge amount of money. It's basically enough to pay for his crisps and pop. We don't get loads. He's not entitled to a disability parking pass or any of that stuff. So it's probably the lowest level. Like I say, I don't know the details. Anna was getting that before I ever met her. I've never got involved in it. I'd never see any of that. It literally just pays for Andy's crisps and pop. Will I ever shave my beard? Probably not. Never say never, but probably not. Where did I get my YouTube cushion from? It was from in the Broadmarsh shopping centre in Nottingham. There's a little mobile phone repair shop that also sells retro games and key rings and tat and cushions, and they had that in there and it looked cool. It only cost £5. It's awesome. What anxiety medication is Andy on? He takes fluoxetine. What graphics card do I have? It's a GeForce 1060. Is it the 6 gig one or is it 8 gig? I think it's 6 gig. Can't wait for the giant bag of salt and vinegar crisps collab with my Virgin Kitchen. Barry knows where to find me. Like 2 spots above him on famous birthdays. Yeah, that's right, Barry. You know where I am. How much do I receive for 5,000 tips? I don't know, actually. I don't really know how it works. All I get is a number that I've made at the end of the stream. So usually, yeah, thank you, by the way, to whoever did the 5,000 bars. That's very generous. But yeah, I don't know what that equates to. I just know what I earn at the end of each month from YouNow. And it's generally roughly the same sort of amount each month. Right, I'm just going to pause for a moment because we are roughly halfway through the stream. So just pausing for a second to remind the people on YouTube that I can't see anything that's going on in the YouTube chat. So if you are asking questions for the Q&A over on YouTube, then you need to come over to YouNow because I can't see what you're typing on YouTube. The link to the YouNow is regularly being posted in the YouTube chat by the KevBot. The link is also in the description over on YouTube. Or you can just come to younow.com/Lelujo. You can follow the link on my Twitter. Get yourself over here and then I can actually see your questions. I can't see any of the questions that you're typing in on YouTube, so don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I can only see the YouNow chat. On YouNow, everyone gets a daily spin, so if everyone does that, you have a good chance of getting more bars. I don't know what that means, but if people want to do a daily spin, I would appreciate it. Where is Amy today? Amy is currently lying on her bed watching Netflix, I think, last time I saw her. I know you keep vlogs massively PG, but have you ever had to edit out me swearing in the car or anything? No, I'm generally, because I'm always the one holding the camera, I know not to swear. I'm not like a big swearer anyway. Obviously, I do swear in real life, but I don't use it as punctuation. I don't accidentally swear the way some people do. I can put a sentence together. I can hold a full conversation without feeling the need to swear. So I was a teacher for a long time. It's not hard for me to just switch it on and off. And okay, I'm in swearing mode now. Let's turn that on. But I can just as easily turn swearing mode off, and I don't ever accidentally do it. He says, but there was one time I swore on Twitch when I was playing Fortnite because I just got annoyed with it. So apparently in 3 years of content creation on YouTube and Twitch, and probably 1,500 videos in that time, hundreds if not thousands of hours of content, I swore once. Did Anna's ring get fixed? Yeah, did we not put that on the vlog? That was fixed ages ago. I feel like it must have been on the vlog. Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, it's been fixed for ages. Costs like 150 quid to get it repaired, which is exorbitant, really. So all they did, from what I can tell, is glue the diamond back to the gold. I'm sure it's probably a more involved process than that. But I did look at it afterwards and think, I don't really see what you've done. I could have done that with a bit of Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue doesn't cost £150, but she's happy. Her ring's fixed. Would I rather shave my beard or give away my YouTube channel? I'd rather shave my beard, but thankfully I'm never going to have to do either of those things. Teachers swear more than students. Only the thick ones. Only the ones who... I mean, anyone who can't do a sentence without swearing, you've got to think, I mean, really? Are you really not capable of just selecting the words that you use? It's not that hard. Did Anna get her bag, pens and paper in the end? She did. She did a full haul at the end of the video. I did realise as I was rendering that I didn't put the checklist back up on screen, and I thought, you know what? There's not really a good opportunity to do it. It's pretty clear from the video that she did. What's Lucy studying at college? She's doing a level 3 health and social care course. Favourite memory of this year so far? Oh my word. I don't know. I'd have to sit and have a long think about that. It's been a fantastic year. One of the best years of my life. So I would need to. There'd be so many. Can Amy go live with me again this week? And she is. She's been here all week. She's been here all week because her mum's out of the country at the moment. Can Andy swim? No, we talked about that earlier. Is Andy still into his yoga? Not really. What would be your dream graphic on a backpack? I don't know. I mean, I've got a Spectrum one that's very cool already, and I've got a Mega Drive one that's very cool. I don't know. I don't really do I tend to have all my graphics on my T-shirts rather than on backpacks and stuff. I like people to focus on my T-shirt and my shoes. Is Chap Fam still not happening? I just don't really like it. I mean, there might come a point where I'm not actually in control of it and it just becomes a thing that happens anyway. And it looks like it's slowly going that way. I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to start a vlog by going, "Hi, Chap Fam," because I'm just not that kind of YouTuber. Can you really see me doing that? Does Andy watch football? No. What are the men behind me? They're not all men. They're pop vinyls, and they're awesome. How is Andy dealing with Anna's mum's death? He still doesn't really get it. I mean, he mentions her occasionally. We remind him that she's gone, and then he'll stop talking about it, and then he'll mention her again a few days later. It's just a recurring cycle of that at the moment. It's a good job you can't see the YouTube chat. The comments are disgusting. Yeah, that's why I don't stream on YouTube. That's why we stream on YouNow instead. Because, as I've said before, the people who are making disgusting comments on YouTube are either too thick or too lazy to come over and register an account on YouNow. So they just sit there mumbling out their nonsense on YouTube where nobody cares what they're saying. And I don't get to have to see their nonsense. And then after the stream, I just go through and ban them all. So they get banned anyway. But yeah, it's a nice bit of quality control. It keeps the chat clean and full of good people because, like I say, too thick or too lazy to register a YouNow account. What team do I support? I support Posh. What PO box? What's my PO box? PO box is in the description to every video we release. I wasn't convinced about Chat Fan, but hearing you sing it, I was sold. Oh God! You should teach Andy to swim for a vlog, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't really enjoy it. What do I plan to do for 100,000 subs on YouTube? I don't really have a plan. Should I do something? We didn't really do much for 50k. We did the giveaway, which, I mean, we could do another giveaway. We could. I don't know. I'm not shaving off my beard before 5 of you all suggest that. What made me start YouTube? It looked like fun. What microphone do I use? Now I'm using a Blue Yeti. On my vlogging camera, I've got a Rode Video Mic Pro. Or at the moment, that's broken, so I've got a Video Mic. I don't know what it's called. I think it's just called a Video Mic. It's not as good, but it does the job. I still haven't seen the new iPhones, no. I'm not that interested because I'm not in the market for a new phone at the moment. When it's time for me to get, and to be honest, I won't need to look when it is time for me to get a new phone. I'm due a new phone in May next year, and what I'll do when it comes time to upgrade, I'll do the same as I've done the last 3 times I've got a new phone, and I'll ring up, or they'll ring me up probably, offer me a new phone, and I'll say I don't need to know the details. I just want the top of the range, biggest, most storage iPhone that you do, please. Just give me that one. I don't need to. I know I want the biggest one. I want the fastest one. I want the newest one. I want the one with most storage. I want the one with most battery life. Just give me the best iPhone that you make. That's what I want. Thank you. And then they send me it, and then I'm happy, and they're happy because they sell one of their best phones, and I get a good phone. What vlogging camera do I use? I have a few different vlogging cameras. The one I use mostly, like probably 80% of my vlogs are recorded on a Canon 80D. But I also have a Canon M50, which is like the little brother of the 80D. It's a little mirrorless one that's about half the size, half the weight, and handy for if I just don't want to lug the massive one around, or if I want a second camera that's good quality. I also have a Canon G7X, which is a little point and shoot, which usually sits on this desk somewhere, but I can't see it at the moment. I've got a GoPro Hero 5, I've got my drone, I've got my iPhone. So I film on all of them. Do I regret my tattoo? No. Kev doesn't have regrets, he says in the same stream where I talked about regretting making a video. But yeah, I don't see the point of regretting stuff. Can't change it, don't worry about it. Am I a fan of vaping? I'm not. What's my favourite song? I don't really have one. Setup Tour, one day. What do I think about kids in primary school having £1,000 phones? I think it's stupid. My kids didn't have phones when they were in primary school. The new iPhone is so expensive you could my alarm for the price. I'm not sure what that means. iPhones are always expensive, but they're also the best phones. I tried going to Samsung. I probably about 5 years ago, I got whatever the newest Samsung Galaxy was at the time. I think it was the S3 or the S4, however long ago that was. And I had it for 6 months before I just walked into Carphone Warehouse and took out a second contract on an iPhone and just had 2 phones for a year and a half because I just couldn't bear to work with Android anymore. I know people love the fact it's customizable and they can make it do what they want it to do. I don't want to make my phone do what I want it to do. I want it to just work. All I need to be able to do on my phone, and this is why it's ridiculous that I have a £1,000 phone, because all I want to be able to do is go on Twitter, go on Instagram, check the YouTube comments, check my bank balance, and film photos and videos and stuff. So I want a good camera and a solid internet connection. The rest of it, and play Pokemon Go. Of course, I need a good battery for that. So if they didn't deliberately wreck their old phones with upgrades every time they bring a new one out, I'd probably still be fine on an iPhone 4. But I also like a big screen because I've got big hands. But yeah, I just hated Android. It just didn't suit me at all. I'd had an iPhone for like 5 years at that point. I got an iPhone not long after they launched, which is over 10 years ago now. So I've been using iPhones and iOS for most of the last 10 years. I'm fully ingrained now. Would I label myself as a hipster? I'm the king of the hipsters. Look at me. Glasses, beard, baseball cap for something I don't even know what it's for, but it just looked cool. A silly pop culture T-shirt. I'm the king of the hips. I'm not a hipster. No, of course I'm not a hipster. Hipsters just want to be like me. I had a beard and glasses before it was cool. You should try the Google Pixel Plus. People say things like that to me, but I'm adamant I shouldn't, because I really I don't want to learn a new operating system. I like iOS, and then I would need to have a bad experience with an iPhone before I even considered looking at what other phone manufacturers are doing. Because, I mean, it's not even at the point these days where an iPhone's £1,000 and a Google phone or a Samsung phone is £300. They're not. They're also close to £1,000. They might be £100 cheaper or £200 cheaper, but when you're buying something for £1,000, why get something you're not going to get as much enjoyment or usability out of just for the sake of shaving 10% off the price? If they were a third of the price, I might look into it, but they're not. They're roughly the same price. I'll just use the one that I enjoy, and until I stop finding them a pleasure to use, I'm not going to shop around. Why did I get a tattoo? Because I was 18 and stupid. The YouTube chat's really inappropriate. Yeah, it's because the people who are doing that are dumb. Just leave them to it. It's better than them flinging their own poo at each other. Tomorrow isn't any holiday as far as I'm aware. Make it Kev's beard day. Yeah. I'm all good with an iPhone 5. Don't see the reason to upgrade. It's fine the way it is. Yeah, I would be like that if it wasn't for the fact that the batteries just slowly die and the speed of the phone slowly... I don't regret my tattoo at all. I'm fine having it. I didn't have a reason to have it. It has no meaning behind it. 18-year-olds do stupid things like get tattoos, but I don't regret having it done. Would I ever go back into teaching, Kev? Only if I ran out of money. How old am I? 36. What is tomorrow's vlog about? Is it good? It's about me and my family life, and yes, it's good. Why did I get a tattoo? I was 18 and stupid. Wow, I got my sleeve done at 18. Thanks, Kev. Well, when you're 36, let's see if you still like it. I mean, based purely on my own experience, I would say the age for having tattoos should be raised to 25. That's not me saying young people shouldn't be allowed to have them done, but I know a lot of people who had tattoos when they were like 18, 19, who got to age 23 and decided they didn't like them anymore and rather have something else. So, yeah, I'm open to having... I would have a lot more tattoos than I do if they weren't so expensive. I don't want to have rubbish tattoos. And like this T-shirt, for example, I would love to have this as a tattoo, like on my arm or my leg or wherever. Just that as a tattoo would be amazing. But can you imagine how much would that be as a tattoo? That quality, that colour. You'd be looking at hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and I can't afford it. And if I had hundreds and hundreds of pounds, I'd have something better to spend it on than a tattoo. But it is the end of our half-hour slot. See, these half hours, they fly by, leaving you wanting more. I haven't finished my coffee. But I do need to end the stream now because I need to get set up to go onto Twitch. So I'll try and get back tomorrow night as well. We might just... I've been daily on YouNow every day for 4 days now. Daily for 4 days. I might just keep streaming every day until people stop watching or I forget. And we'll see how many consecutive days we can do. But yeah, rather than talking for another 20 minutes now, I'll give you another half an hour tomorrow. You can't say fairer than that. So we will end things there. If you haven't had enough Kev in your life for today, twitch.tv/LaLujoFM. I'll be streaming Football Manager from 9 o'clock for a couple of hours. Otherwise, I will see you all very, very soon. Toodle pip, folks.